morning, everybody. It's September 21st. I'm Jane Johnston with the Bar Hill Group at Remax Camosa, and welcome to the Victoria Real Estate Show with...
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Victoria Real Estate Show, and it is Andrew Plank here with WKRB, and since, no, whatever. I just like making Jane laugh, and I don't really, anything I say tends to do it, so.
That's because I'm your friend.
Awkward to start, but yes. Hello, everyone.
How are you? How was your week?
Well, my week was good because I was away.
Oh.
Yeah, I was traveling, just local travels. So partner and I were off in Squamish and Whistler and a little bit of the Sunshine Coast, and then came back across from Powell River to Comox, and then stayed a night in Parksville. And yeah, so I'm all refreshed and ready and back at it. So diving back in.
It's funny how you don't need a big rest to really feel refreshed.
We fell in love with Squamish. It's really a beautiful space, really wonderful, natural, rugged, really good food. We were staying in a B&B on the river, a little far out of the city. So we were just sitting on the deck every day, watching the salmon spawning and the cycles of life. It was good. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, what did I do?
You worked.
I worked. I got an accepted offer on a property. I got an accepted offer on my listing on Sumac, so that the conditions come off Friday. And I have a buyer who we sold their townhouse, and they're ready to rent. And we found a house right around the corner from where they are. They just want to move from strata to single family, and yeah, so it's all about making people's dreams come true.
Of course. Yeah.
So not everybody's ideal home is the same, and
that's one of the beauties of this thing, right? Like, there's a lid for every pot. Everybody needs a different hat. So helping connect people up with those is quite a lot of fun.
Yeah, figuring out what they need. So I went to a talk with the economist from the BCREA this week. It was very interesting. He was saying that with the latest announcements from the Bank of Canada regarding inflation rates, he thinks there may be another adjustment happening, another lift. And so people be aware. You might want to lock in now for your rate hold. If you want to buy, we really need to kind of get that in place before the rates go up.
It's a hard one because, I'm on the variable myself, and, a lock in now where it feels like we're at or near the top, hopefully, could lock in for, some period of time, which, could end up costing us more. And that's the eternal question, right? It's like, when is the right time? And there's some people out there that locked in at really low rates.
I mean, like, get your rate hold with your bank if you're going to be buying rather than...
Oh, thank you. Yeah, sorry. I was going down a different road. Yes, certainly. Absolutely. If you are looking to purchase and you haven't locked in, get locked in. Go get your pre-approval. Go talk to that bank.
Yeah, because we could be going for a big ride here. And so a 0.25%, 0.25 basis points is quite a lot in terms of buying into place. So just make sure you're locked in before the rates go up again. All right, so let's do the stats. Let's figure out what's going on here. There we go. Alrighty, so it is the real estate market update for September 21st. It was interesting because I was trying to find last week's stats, and then I realized that that's probably like the first Thursday we haven't done a presentation in a long time, so I couldn't find them.
Right.
All right, so we're going to compare to September 7th. So we're 2 weeks past when we last reported in. So go ahead, Andrew.
A gap. Yeah. Okay. So in the last 7 days, we've had 200. This is in the last 7 days, we had 290 new listings go live. 127 went pending. There were 158 price decreases and 4 price increases. So 46 properties expired for were withdrawn. And, looking at this compared to 2 weeks ago, a little more listings coming live. That's to be expected as we move into September, out of the summertime. More listings coming on. We'll start to see less of them again, probably end of November, early in December. It'll be quite slow. Number of pendings have increased, so it's nice to see some increase in sales over the September 7th. The price decreases is up substantially, like double. And that is really indicative of where the market currently is. It's really, really price sensitive. And if things are moving, you've got to make the move yourself. And I've just been involved in that myself with two of my listings. One we're relisting at a significantly lower price, and one has just dropped price by a significant.
Are you getting more activity on that?
We were hoping to open the floodgates with this price change. I thought it would make a pretty significant difference, and we've had crickets. So that's concerning, but the market is really sensitive. And I know for myself, like we've got other properties that are moving, we've got buyers that are buying. So it's not like things are dead in the water, but certainly things are sensitive, I guess.
What's interesting, sorry if my dog's barking. She's got her new favorite place right here on the deck. What's interesting is that when somebody likes a place, that they're really like scared that it's going to be snapped up by somebody else. And so when the motivation is there, is what I'm saying, is that the follow through is there and that the purchase happens. So when it's priced right, if it's showing well, and it is what you need, then you're going to buy it, and you probably won't make much of a fuss. It's when what Andrew's saying, when it's price sensitive, is when it's a little higher. Like right now, our list sale ratio is 43%. So when it's a little higher price than you want to pay, and you're a bit afraid maybe that with the interest rates you're going to have to pay a little more, then that's when we find things slow down. And so the difference is, when we were looking at properties before, we had 10 that we had picked out, and we could show one. Now we have 10 we can pick out, and we can show 6.
I was going to say 6 or 7. It's still not everything, but there's still depends on the client, their own sense of timing and so on. There's certainly a lot less urgency than there used to be, and fear is a big motivator for people.
Yeah.
And when the market was going up week over week, the fear was you would lose out, you would pay more if you waited. Now that fear is less up, so we tend to see people do wait longer to make their offers, or think longer about it.
Yeah, and I have some clients who, this can be on purpose, by the way, folks. Like, I have some clients who have listed a little high because they want to take their time in selling, because either they haven't found a place, or there's reasons why they don't want to close too quickly. And so as a result, it stalls. But you know what? They get frustrated, even though they chose that strategy. So that's interesting to me.
And that's the conversation. I was just talking to some folks yesterday about listing their home, and the conversation is always, we advise and you decide. And here are the different scenarios that could happen. Like, I think your home is worth somewhere between, 1.2 million and 1.25 million. If you list at 1.25, you could have people not knocking your door down, so it could be on market longer, and so we may end up actually having to, in order to get it sold, if you truly want to sell it for less than you could have if you'd listed at 1.2 and sold it right off the bat the first day.
Yep, totally.
But they decide.
Yeah. But don't get angry at the messenger.
Oh, you mean when we say, okay, I think it's time to reduce your price, or I think we should do this?
Yeah. Okay, so for the last month to date, as of last Monday, because the stats come out on Monday, we had 260 net unconditional sales. That's compared to 410 for September of 2022. So we're actually looking pretty good, I think, month to date. Then that's up over 43 for the first week of September. And new listings for the month so far at 743. That's less than last year at 1,155. And that's a big jump from 104 at the beginning of September. So
Yep.
for total active listings, we're at 2,618, and that's up over 2,300 from last year.
So I just want to say, you know, when you look at that new listings stat, 743 as of September 18th, 30 days in September, we're over halfway through. But, you know, it's possible we could be up around, you know, 1,000, 1,100 new listings by end of month. It really depends on probably closer to the 1,000 mark or 1,050, probably not quite as much as we saw last year.
And what I'm seeing here, the ratio of sales to new listings is, I think it was 34%. So that says 35%. So we're moving more into a balanced market. So you do have to be careful about not pricing too high. Some people are trying to negotiate down now, and they're watching. Buyers are watching, folks.
You know, the thing I advise my clients, because, you know, we both, Jane and I both work with buyers and sellers. But the thing we advise our buyer clients, you know, is if the property's been around for a little while, you know, make that offer and do come off the price somewhat, because a price change is probably warranted. And if the seller's not prepared to do it themselves or their agent hasn't been advocating for it, it might be that that offer is what brings it about. And, you know, it's better to do that ahead of the price change where other people who've been waiting for a price change also then take action.
Yeah, and sometimes as a listing agent, you know you have a showing coming up in a couple of days. You're like, let's just wait before we do a price reduction.
Yeah, hope springs eternal. Absolutely. Like that's one of the challenges too. We talk with our clients about a price reduction, and we sort of say, well, if nothing's happened by next Thursday, let's make an adjustment. And then Wednesday, the day before, you know, 3 showings are lined up for Thursday, and the client says, well, let's just wait and see. And then another 2 are set up for Friday, and then, you know, a couple on the weekend, and so then you just keep waiting, but people keep coming back and saying, sorry, not interested. Oh, somebody's gone muted, Jane.
Then you know you're priced okay, but you're not at the price that's going to generate the multiple offers.
Because you're getting showings, but you're not getting offers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So let's introduce our guest here.
Good. She's been waiting patiently in the background. Drum roll, please.
Hello, Beverly.
Hello.
Beverly Carter. She's with Carter Notary. And Bev, I knew Bev just when she started her business. So when was that, Bev?
It's exactly 10 years ago in September that we met at a lunch, and you happened to sit beside me. So yes.
So you started the business 10 years ago, or was that?
I did. Yeah, I did. Yes, we celebrated 10 years this year, and
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been I can't believe 10 years has passed. It's a lot of I've had a lot of great times through that. I've worked really hard as we kind of all do when we're building our business, and I'm very happy to based on where I'm at now to be able to grow further. So I was lucky where I had one of my staff decided to become a notary, and she went through the whole notary program and was commissioned last year. So now there's 2 of us. So now I actually had a couple of weeks off this summer, which amazing. I have not had in like 12 years. The most I've had would be like a 5-day stretch, and that would be around a long weekend or something. So
are you hooked now? Are you like, how was that vacation? Are you ready to
Okay, well, so we went to the Caribou and we stayed at Timothy Lake. Actually, I stayed with a realtor. He's still a realtor, but he's running a lodge that he's taking over from his parents. And Jeff was pretty active here in Victoria, but has done a lifestyle change. And so it was great. So we did a lot of fishing, and the fishing was so inspiring that last week my husband also decided to buy a boat so we can go fishing.
My goodness.
Yes. Yeah. So and there must be a fishing theme here because Andrew, when I attended your open house or open beach actually
Yeah,
last month,
open beach.
I won the fishing.
You
I
did.
won the fishing prize. So,
Yeah,
but
got a
anyhow, so that's
fishing event coming up soon, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So anyhow, so that's good. So for some reason, the universe has said Beverly needs to go fishing more, and I'm going to take that more metaphorically. That take more downtime. So yeah. So yeah.
Okay, so Bev, tell us what a notary public does in relation. Like a lot of people, when they're closing on a house, they think they need to talk to a lawyer, but they can also talk to a notary public. What's the difference between a lawyer
Yeah.
and a notary?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So as a notary public, we actually have we're legislated in a different area of law, although that's going through a change. But our educational requirements are that we have a master's degree in applied legal studies, and that's done through Simon Fraser University. And then we have a whole separate education that's not academic, but delves more into the practical elements of the actual work that we do on a day-to-day basis, as well as running a business, because that's also a large part, running a legal business, actually. So we have that. And we do actually write statutory exams that would be similar to what a lawyer writes. They're bar exams, but we have our exams that are focused on what we do. And so we actually practice specific areas of law. And my common thing that I say is notaries are lovers, not fighters. So we don't do anything contentious. We do happy law. It is a good way to say that. So but we actually become specialists in our areas. So the areas that we do are currently real estate. So we, as notaries, do the majority of all the residential conveyances throughout British Columbia. And I think it's between 70 and 75% that we do. So it's actually quite extraordinary amount.
Wow.
Yeah, right. There's a very strong historical contingent to notaries operating where when British Columbia, you go back 100 or so years ago, with our terrain that we have, it's very rugged. And so there was mining and exploration and all that sort of work. And along with that came business needs. And so notaries have a very strong tradition in more rural areas of the province. So every small town or a small town with a little something to it has generally a notary. Whereas the lawyers were more the city folks, right? And they would do, they were barristers and solicitors. And so they would go to court, but they would also offer more. So we have a very practical history to what we do. Yeah. So, but that's, those commonly, some people have the myth that, a lawyer's better than a notary. And it's like, no, they're the same when it comes to doing the conveyance. If something goes sideways, whether you're with a notary or a lawyer, that we both have obligations to send our clients out for independent legal advice if something were starting to go sideways or there's a unique scenario evolving. And in my 10 years, I've have about 6 that I've had to send for independent legal advice, and maybe only 2 deals that didn't end up happening. And they were probably, that stage was set long before they came to me. So yes.
So often I get asked from clients, when do I get in touch with my lawyer or notary? And I always say, well, wait till the transaction is unconditional and then get in touch, phone them, see if they're available. I give them 3 names. You're one of them.
Yeah, thank you.
And I think they're often confused about when to meet with you before, especially real estate. When is the best time for them to meet with you?
Well, I think the best. So I'm going to start with when they should contact us. I would say actually earlier. I find it can be helpful for them to tell us that they've made an offer, even if it's conditional. usually at that point, most people are general, unless they find something that's really not, to their liking in say an inspection or something. That way we get it on our books and we know, and so really the first time that me or any of the staff that I have talk with a client, that's when our file starts. And so we can actually give them some very key information at that time. So it depends on the turnaround times, but lately I've been seeing a few more quick turnarounds. That had gone, the last year or so, that wasn't the case. So we had a little more time. But I've seen more 2, 3, 4 weeks more recently. And so I say just reach out to us, because it can also be an opportunity to ask questions at that time that they may not think of in the context of asking you, but they can ask us.
You don't know what you don't know. And if you're connected,
Yep.
You connect with a lawyer or notary after you've agreed to purchase the home, if there was some key information that could have come out beforehand.
Yeah, and there's generally, like two big tips that I give to people, and I say, because usually as part of your conditions, you're getting insurance and you're getting your financing, and those two are often in my stream and processes from beginning to end. Those are the ones that cause delays. So, and I always encourage the people to get on with it, because you're investigating it and you're signing off on it at this point. You actually want to commit to it. And that doesn't mean you're paying for it. You're just saying, yes, I'll go with that. You can always make changes later, right? Mm-hmm. Yep.
What are the 2 big tips?
So that would be getting insurance, right? Okay. And making sure that you lock in your with your mortgage broker, that you're signing off all the paperwork as soon as possible. Yeah. So that's it. And then in terms of, because what I do, and I base a lot of my practices based on my own experiences in the past of having bought houses. And sorry, I have a dog who needs out. One sec. There you go, Sue. Out you go.
Yesterday,
we all have pets that interrupt.
I know, right?
we were talking about this yesterday, that insurance is something that often people forget.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't pay attention to it, or they forget, and then there's nuances to it. So it's really important that people.
Well, right, and it takes time for the insurance brokers and the people they're working with. They have a lot of questions they need to work through in order to then send it off, and it goes to their back office, who then come back to them to say, yes, we can do this, and make a commitment. And so that's on the top of my list to dial in. Certainly this year, depending on where a person is in the province, if there's any fires near you, you want that locked in, because then you're already in the system. But if you're trying to do that, and say you're in Shawnigan Lake and there's a fire within I think it's 25 kilometers, you can run into some issues. So I've seen that happen. It's not so much here in Victoria that we see that, but certainly other parts of the province, that would definitely be something to do.
So folks, the key thing with the insurance that people don't always kind of connect the dots on is, in order to get your lender to lend you money, property needs to be insured.
Yes. So, because it really is a financial condition as well.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. So, but I'm going to speak to, it's one of the reasons, in terms of when you're, especially like in smaller communities, I find on the island here, like coastal community credit union, they have a lot of branches throughout the island, and a lot of relatively small remote places, and they have a bit better specialty in terms of being able to offer some packages, either both through the insurance, because they know the area, and both for financing as well, especially if you're getting into some unique properties or even mobile homes, those sorts of things. So sometimes dealing with a credit union in a smaller area can actually be to your advantage.
Well, this is great insider knowledge that And, reaching out to yourself early might help people. I mean, we as realtors give as much, we try to give advice and give names of providers where we can, but, you also are a resource, right? And this is,
absolutely
you're part of the team.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. And I would say I'm one of your trusted professionals.
Yeah.
And we take a very, why I take that first point of contact so seriously is because that defines our timelines. And it can, provide that timely information. And even if they've heard it from you, they need to hear it again.
They often do.
There's so much going on when you're buying or selling. People are getting ready to move. They're working. Maybe they've got kids and dogs and, like they've got a whole life. Yep.
I have a question. Do you find that oh my God, I forgot my question.
Hey, I wanted to make a comment, and that is because we started off some of this conversation around what's the difference between a lawyer and a notary, and why would you choose one or the other?
Yeah.
And one of the things I've really noticed, like I have worked with people who have said, I want to use my family lawyer.
Yeah.
And it's some older gentleman perhaps who's not in any real estate conveyance and has no staff, and it is a nightmare trying to get everything together and closed, and they don't really know what they're doing.
And as a person who specializes in this area, we are also dealing with those people on the other side of
on the other side, and you're having to do their work as well, because we see that also in our real estate industry.
Yeah, and that's relatively common, because there are some real estate firms that are excellent and they specialize in this. This is an important part of their practice.
Exactly.
And some more sophisticated, some smaller, but a lot of law firms will just take it because the person has the connection to them. It is okay to change your legal professional for a real estate conveyance.
For the specialty.
Yeah. I have to admit, when a client says to me that they're going to use a lawyer who I haven't used before, I'm like,
right.
It does give me the heebie-jeebies, because not only are you're coordinating also with the lender.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. And so you have to know there's nuances there that you have to communicate to those people.
Beverly, you were just saying you celebrated 10 years in this business. So you've seen and overcome many challenges where there's things that come up in a file that you start to say, okay, this would probably derail someone who's never seen this before, but I've done this 15, 20, 25 times.
Right.
I know, like with the back of my hand, who to call, what to do, what to say, and how to fix this.
Yeah. I think the way I started to say earlier, but, based on my own experience, I don't want what some of my experience have been for my clients.
Yeah.
And so I start out. And so once we know that the conditions have been removed, we set the time. And I did that because the industry standard is that everybody works to the last minute, and the lawyers, and I'm going to say probably other notaries, but the financial people, the insurance people, they all go to the timeline.
Yep.
So I strategically set my timeline. And so I set the signing appointment as soon as we know. That can always be changed, if something comes up with our clients, but generally that way we force the financial people, whether it's mortgages or insurance, we force them to meet our timeline.
Yep.
And I book a minimum certainly for a purchase and mortgage, it's a minimum of 7 to 10 days before, because then we've got time. And my experience is that when things go sideways, if you don't allow time, and where the industry standard is to do everything at the last minute, the last 1 to 3 days, you're going to have problems, and it turns into a pressure cooker. And we have 80 to 120 touch points on every file. That's a lot. That's a lot. My main conveyancer, she is awesome. She's meticulous. She's detail oriented, and she can handle a lot. But we can handle more when we have time.
When you have time.
And I've always said this. I don't want to be a stressful part of the experience for my clients. I want to show them the respect. I take an educational approach as well. So the common standard would be flip, sign, flip, sign, flip, sign. I don't do that. I don't book my timelines around that. I'm not booking 20 minutes for them to finish, the signing paper. I listen, these are 300,000 plus contracts, $1 million contracts. They're not small. And when you're paying your legal professional, you should not be shopping on price, right? You should be shopping on the value that they provide to you.
And Beverly, you and I, I've been in your offices. We've worked together since you made clients.
Yes, thank you.
How organized you are. And, that's one of the things that really gives us faith when we're wanting to promote or share with our clients someone who's going to be helpful to us. This is a real tail wags the dog industry on both sides, our side and your side. And if you can be ahead of it, if you can be, like you're saying, have those appointments set up in advance, you can overcome a lot of problems or see them coming a lot sooner, because it's often the case. I just had this happen with some clients. We sold a home. They are buying another home, not through me, because they're buying in a different community. That their lender is back east. Their lender didn't recognize. We use our standard form for subject removals is very Victoria Real Estate Board based. Some in Vancouver, in Up Island, every condition is written out individually, whereas we have a boilerplate condition form, 5 conditions on it. We got an offer on their property that was not conditional on financing, and the agent didn't write waived into the little section where the date is. So it was just a blank kind of thing along with the conditions. That was all fine for us. We recognize what that means, and it's pretty commonplace. But the lender on the other side, who was going to fund their purchase, was looking at it saying, well, you didn't have conditions removed. There was a condition for financing and it wasn't removed. And so that created, and all that is it's the point is that these things come up at the last minute. You can't address it. My clients went in to sign documents. The lawyer said, we don't have everything yet. They had to wait. Luckily it all worked out. And it wasn't really anything on us, but it was a misunderstanding and a confusion. And it has to do with culture, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good reason to use a local lawyer or notary if you can, and use a local mortgage broker or a financial advisor if you can, because there are things that do come up here.
Yes.
You guys, we're gonna run out of time here. So I wanted to say, Beverly, are there any closing thoughts that you have?
I would just emphasize that notaries are an excellent choice in British Columbia to choose for real estate conveyance, but we also do wills, personal planning documents like powers of attorney, health representation agreements, and advance directives, and then we do notarizations, which is a whole host of things. But for me personally, my business takes a very strong educational approach to what we do. We take pride in it. We know that that's our value, and that's what we want for our clients. It's one of the reasons why I've got the best ratings. But we work hard at that. I've got a great team, and we all work hard. We work in precision, and so we'd love to have you reach out to us at least and have a conversation if you're thinking of needing any of the services anytime soon. So,
okay. How do they get in touch with you, Beverly?
Okay, so website is carternotary.com. There are some appointments that can be booked directly online, or call us at 250-383-4100. And I have amazing staff who I trust and who will be happy to answer questions and see what we can do for you. So
okay,
I like your tagline there, Beverly.
Yeah, that's right. It works. I really am there because I think about that when buying or selling a house. Those are notable moments for people, maybe because they're, they got married and they're having a baby, so they need a home, so. We see all ages and stages of life, as you do too. and I probably see just a bit more of that because of the different areas that law that we practice in. So,
Mm-hmm.
but we love what we do here, and our clients are, we have excellent and long-term relationships with a lot of clients, a lot of repeat business as well. So thank you to all of you. Thank you both. And I can say I have worked with both of you I take executor appointments. So I've worked with both of you in that capacity at different points. And it's been a pleasure to work with both of you, and certainly I can put kudos behind you both.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us today. We're just going to carry on with the rest of the show. We just talk about our needs and wants. So we'll say goodbye to you right
Thank you.
now.
Yeah.
And
You
thank
bet.
you so much.
Have a great day, everyone. Yeah.
Bye, Beverly.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Okay, Andrew. So let's just talk about our needs and wants here. Tell me what you have coming up.
Coming up, I've got a new listing. So I've got a new listing going live tomorrow. It is on Witchbury Avenue, down on the dead end side, across from school, and it is going to be a bit of a project, but not really. Like, how do I put this? It's a wonderful home, 3 beds up, 1 bath. Down is 3 beds up, 3 beds, 1 bath with a kitchen, full height basement. Nice yard full of landscaped plantings, fruit trees, all kinds of wonderful stuff. But it has been let go a little bit over the years, so it could use some love, right? So coming up at $1 million, and it will be a wonderful, wonderful home for someone. Some really great under the carpets, this beautiful hardwood. It's built in 1963, but it looks more like a 50s home with the cove ceilings and so forth. And yeah, it's lots of space for someone, and especially if you're looking for some income.
Awesome.
We just reduced price significantly on the lot on McKinnon on Pender Island. Sellers would really like to move it forward. They paid for over $460,000 for it a couple of years ago, and our price currently is $325,000.
Okay.
So it is ready to go and rocket out the door. Just reduce the price significantly to that. We've got I've got a townhouse on Pandora that we also just reduced price on. We were at $789. We're now at $750, and this is a 3-level unit. The lower level is a garage and a flex space, which would make a great gym or rec room or something. And the main floor is the main entry from the front. You've got an open concept living kitchen area, nice enclosed deck with some views to the south of the mountains. Upstairs are 2 bedrooms, nice size main bedroom. Really great space for $750,000. And again, just reduce the price on that. We've got buyers looking for 2 beds, 2 baths, preferably under $7, maybe $750, but they'd really like actually a ground floor space. With access maybe to water for paddleboarding and so forth. And yeah, a lot of clients are kind of looking for the more ground floor, come and go, lock and leave kind of setup.
You're talking about a condo.
Kind of condo townhouse, like character conversion.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a new listing coming up on Rithwood, 4562 Rithwood. It's a beautiful broadmead. This is a classic.
Anytime it ends in wood, you know it's in broadweed.
Broadweed. This is a classic home. It was built in 1981, and it's got like the funky tile, like the 80s tile with the squares and stuff. And so anyway, I've had some fun decorating. I probably could spend like a week just going to stores just to find retro boho stuff to fit in it. Anyway, that's going to be priced at $1,420. And it's on a large lot. It's kind of perched on a rock. Actually, part of the basement is a crawl space. They've just redone all the carpet in the lower level. And the upper level has this huge sky that's gorgeous, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths up, 1 bedroom, 1 bath down. And I think that will go pretty quick, actually. And then I do have my listing on Cedar Crescent at $749. This one was price reduced from $799, so that's in Cobble Hill, and it's a golfing gated community. And if you're moving to Vancouver Island, it's a great place because you have instant communication. They do a lot of activities there. It's just awesome. And I have one on Heatherdale Lane that we just listed, 209537 Heatherdale Lane. This is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and it's I really like the layout because the bedrooms and bathrooms are on either side. And that one is priced at $749. And Gladstone we had a price reduction to 1.1, and this is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home, 2 beds up, 2-bedroom suite down. So that's a steal of a deal. And we've been getting, we did get an offer. We actually have some people circling around, but no offers on the table right now. So bring your buyers, people.
Excellent.
All right. So we're going to have to get going here. So just don't forget to join us. We're live every Thursday morning at 9:30 a.m. And you can catch us on your podcast wherever you listen. And we're also on YouTube. Andrew and I both have YouTube channels. Andrew, how do people get in touch with you?
Yeah, I'm at 250-360-6106. Email is info@andrewplank.com, or check out the website, andrewplank.com.
All right. And I'm Jane Johnston with the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camosun. You can reach me at 250-744-0775. My email is briarhillgroup@gmail.com. You can go to my website, briarhillgroup.com. And then for these videos and more, go to victoriarealestateshow.com. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram to see what life is really like in Victoria at realtyteacher_Remax Victoria. Take care, everybody. Have a great week, Andrew. Love you, buddy.
Thanks, Jane. Right back at you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.